We have the middle school representatives speak out tonight, the Springfield Empowerment Zone schools, which were very part of all our schools. Chestnut Talented and Gifted is in the house, and they're going to play a rousing rendition that they'll explain. But Imani Hayes is here, Brenna McClendon, Samantha Bouchard. Imani plays the clarinet. Brenna plays the clarinet. Benny Goodman. Samantha plays the tenor saxophone. Candy Dolfler, she's very good. Ashley Jutkins, trumpet. Miles, Adriales Gonzalez, and I pronounce your name wrong, please correct it, plays the trumpet. And Gladys Sharango and Yaritza Ruiz, student remarks on Girls on the Run. They're accompanied by Angela Bowker, band music teacher Janelle Clark, ELA teacher Julia St. Martin, AP. Let's put your hands together. Come on down for Chestnut Talented and Gifted. And it's great to see retired president of the Teachers Union, Mr. Tim Collins. Are you going to sing us croon an Irish tune for us tonight? St. Patrick's Day. Okay, it's good to see you, Tim. Young ladies, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hi, my name is Gladys, and I am a 6th grade scholar at Chestnut Tag. Girls in the Run was fun for me because we did team building exercises every day before we ran. I also liked that the coaches were as enthusiastic about getting to know us as they were as us going faster. We also did things with our spirit, body, and mind and talked about it in small groups before talking as a whole. During cool down, we talked to each other while doing relaxing stretches, which is very easygoing and calming. Something I also really liked was the way our teachers were now our coaches, and we could talk to them about things outside of schoolwork. Us girls on the run bonded, and our friendship still remains strong because of the program. I am very excited to be a part of it again in the spring.
Nice job, everybody. Yaritza?
My name is Yaritza. I'm a 6th grade scholar at Chestnut Tag. Girls in the Run was an amazing and fun program because I made friends I wouldn't have made outside the program. We also had lots of team building exercises that encouraged us to communicate and be social with one another and not just stay quiet. For our warm-ups, we would have different cones for different answers, and we would be asked a question. The cones would usually represent yes, sometimes, and no. We had to run from cone to cone depending on our answer. It was great because we got to see a lot of opinions and share our own. We also had cool downs to talk about what is important to us now and long term. We got to run lots of different tracks and have different fun lap counters and compare laps. This is why Girls in the Run was fun and why I'm looking forward to again in the spring.
Nice job, Yaritza. Is it okay if we get up and dance too? Thank you very much. Duggan Academy is in the house, the middle school, and they're accompanied by Principal Mike Calvanese and Matt Sullivan, Assistant Principal. Elena Conde is here, and Demetrius Brown. Cassandra, I know this is very special to you here, too. Come on down.
Good evening, Mayor Sarno, Superintendent Work, and esteemed members of the school committee. My name is Demetrius Brown, and I am an 8th grade student at Duggan Academy. My plan is to attend MIT to study electrical engineering and computer science. I am a Jayhawk for life, as I plan to attend high school at Duggan. I've been part of the greatest transformation of a school in recent history. I've made a lot of friends, I feel comfortable and happy at school, and my teachers challenge me daily. Last year, I joined the Bridge Club, and I love it. I did not know much about it, but I knew my friends really enjoyed it, and they were competing in tournaments against students from MIT and Harvard. I created a great friendship with my new partner, Dakota. The goal of a bridge game is to make a contract and meet it. If you meet the contract, you gain points, and compare how other teams played the same hands. At the end of the tournament, points are calculated, and the team that reaches contract is crowned the champion. On December 9th, Mike Quivada, the bridge instructor, brought us out to Watertown, Mass. To compete. Our competitors were middle school students from Bangor, Maine, and Durham, New Hampshire, and our arch nemesis, students from Newton, Mass. Thankfully, there are no members of MIT or Harvard's Bridge Club there this time. The tournament began with a whirlwind, and we struggled through our first few plays. However, our training from Mr. Wavada kicked in, and Dakota and I crushed the opponents the rest of the way. Usually, I'm a pretty humble young man, but however, in a game where the champion usually takes down 60% of the points, we were able to win 80% of the points. Not bad, right, Mr. Mayor?
That's pretty good. I want you on my team.
I want to thank Duggan Academy for helping me have a great middle school experience and introducing me to Bridge. I also want to thank Mike Cuevada and Robert and Sherry Dura for bringing this great game into my life. I hope the next time I speak to you, Dakota and I can share our acceptance letters to MIT.
Great job.
Oh. That's not all. That's not all. There is still more.
Okay. Like his style.
Thank you to the school committee and Mr. Mayor. I have brought you a little gift so you can practice and hopefully get on our level someday.
I've heard that plenty of times. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Oh, come, it's okay. All right. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you, Demetrius. Alana?
Good evening, Mayor Sarno, Superintendent Warwick, and members of the school committee. My name is Alana Conde, and I am an 8th grade student at John J. Duggan Academy. As most would know, last fall, the entire island of Puerto Rico was destroyed by Hurricane Maria, just days after providing a safe haven for victims of Hurricane Irma in neighboring islands. Power outage, water contamination, floodings, landslides, bridges collapsing, and lands destruction ultimately drove the entire human population into survival mode. Puerto Rico was in the dark, isolated, and crying out for help. Meanwhile, at Duggan, where the majority of students are Puerto Rican descent, desperate students and staff members anxiously waited for hours, days, and even weeks to hear from family members back on the island. Many of us felt powerless and all cried together. We asked each other if anyone had heard from their families or hometowns. During this, we felt that we had to do something, not by ourselves, but together as a team. Both Puerto Rican and non-Puerto Rican to contribute to the aid to be a part of the support from the U.S. mainland. We wanted Puerto Rico to know that they are not alone and we are here for them. A team of students got together and chose to put a showcase together in celebration of traditional Puerto Rican culture and a chance to show that although our island is hurt, our people's resilience was strong. The showcase was called Take a Stand for Puerto Rico. Casting was open to anyone who wanted to perform, ranging from singing, dancing, comedy skits, and spoken word. Under the guidance of Ms. Wong, we were working every day. It became part of the culture at Duggan. We ran bake sales to set up props and began production on the show. Everyone had an opportunity to contribute. If you couldn't perform, you could use your art skills for our stage design. If not, then you could put your chef skills to use and help the bake sale. Or you could just donate. Professional guest artists from the community were invited and also performed as well as t-shirt vendors supporting the cause. Traditional live music was played and with professional dance and drumming bringing the audience to cheer on their feet. Of course, not everything was smooth. Some of us had never been on stage before, including me, as you can probably tell.
You're doing fine.
The day of our show, a few of us even cried backstage because we were so nervous. But our director pulled each of us aside and would ask us one question. She asked, "Why did you decide to do this?" Most of our responses were the same, to help Puerto Rico. And she always responded with, "So then help Puerto Rico." Those simple words were enough to get us on the stage and give our performances, the best we had to give. One of the best parts was that a pair of twin brothers who were new 6th grade students that had just arrived from Puerto Rico jumped right in to participate our show and gave the audience their story and their experience during the hurricane, the aftermath, and how it felt to have to leave their home and come live in Springfield. In the end, we were able to raise over $1,000 along with toiletries and canned goods to help support our cause. As stressful as it was, Puerto Rico will come back strong as ever, and the Jayhawk family at Duggan was happy to support our homeland with a special celebration.
Nice job. Nice job, Elena.
Gracias.
Very good. Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Demetrius. Forest Park Middle School is in the house, accompanied by Principal Tommy Mazza, Zayn St. Fard, and Kyle Lee. If I pronounce your name wrong, please correct me. Come on down.
Good evening, Mayor Sarno, Superintendent Warwick, and school committee members. My name is Zion Safard. I'm an 8th grade student at Forest Park Middle School. I want to recognize this evening some of the great things going on in my school and help you understand why I think Forest Park is so great. When I started middle school, I thought I wouldn't be accepted by the other students. I was worried about making friends and fitting in. However, as I am in my 8th grade year, I realized how much I love my school and what a positive impact Forest Park has made on me. Forest Park has a system of rules, routines, and procedures that helps the building run smoothly. Students are expected to behave in a certain way at the classrooms and hallways. This makes all students feel safe and able to learn. Forest Park also offers a variety of extracurriculum activities and sports that students can get involved with. One of these activities is our C3 basketball league. C3 is different from regular basketball team. You don't have to try out for C3, and it is not linked to your grades. Basically, anyone who likes to play can. C3 is also a motivational and has a mentoring component because the coaches are all police officers or members of the law enforcement community. With C3, you are able to play and have fun without worrying that you are the best player. Also, we get to build relationships with the police officers, and you know the practice games are going to be a safe environment because the officers don't let anything happen on their watch. Overall, middle school has been a great experience for me, and I look forward to being successful in high school with my skills I have gained at Forest Park Middle School. Thank you, school committee members, very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak to you this evening.
Nice job. Kyle?
Hello, school committee members, Superintendent Warwick, and Mayor Sarno. My name is Kyle Lee, and I am an 8th grade student at Forest Park Middle School. I am a proud member of Forest Park's Glee Club, and I am here to talk to you about the benefits of being a member and also a little about what we do and what we are all about. One of the benefits of being a part of the Glee Club is getting to know new people. I just arrived at Forest Park this school year, and I did not know anyone else who was interested in singing. Meeting these other students with similar interests allowed me to be myself and reach my full potential. The Forest Park Middle School Glee Club is all about not judging other people. We encourage each other to keep growing in our talent no matter how many mistakes a person makes. It's all about being patient with one another as a group. As a result of this encouragement, when we all sing together, our voice is clear and strong, the rhythmic sound resonates. Right now, the Glee Club is planning a spring concert event. I look forward to showcasing our talent to our school and this community. I am grateful that Forest Park offers this program and allows Glee Club members to express their creativity. I encourage other students to join Glee Club to find their talents and not to be judged because we are all friends here. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak for you this evening.
Thank you, Kyle. Nice job. Are you going to sing us a little tune?
Yes. So 12 days prior to Christmas vacation, I would sing a song each day leading up to it, and I'd sing a Christmas song for the life skill kids. And I'd like to sing one of my favorite and show you guys,
Sure.
if that's all right with you.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeers loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
Great job. That was a great job. Great job, Mr. Lee. Van Sickle Academy's in the house, accompanied by Ronnie McCoy, Megan Callahan, assistant principals. Evan Wynn is in the house, Harold Rivera Vasquez, and Thomas Ware. Come on down.
Good evening, Mayor Sarno, Superintendent Warwick, and the school committee members. My name is Harold Rivera, and I would like to talk to you about my experience in 8th grade here in Van Sickle Academy. I have personally grown a lot as a person and student during my time at BSA. The school gives us a lot of opportunity as students. We have sports like basketball, soccer, volleyball. We have our club, which is good for kids our age. We also have the weightlifting club every Thursday, which helps us stay healthy and in shape. The teachers here are great at my school. They taught me a lot of new and interesting things, especially my social studies teacher, Mr. Brian Kane. All teachers at Van Sickle Academy try to push every student to the best version of themselves. They have taught us to shoot higher and exceed our own expectations. They are preparing us for high school and life in general. The things they teach us is not just for school, it's also skills we will have to know and use throughout our whole lives. Mr. Francesca has put incentives in place for us as rewards for doing what we should. Sometimes people may think that students should not be rewarded for doing the right thing, but Mr. Francesca tries to make sure that all students are recognized and no one is overlooked. This year is going by really quick, and it feels like yesterday that we were being told that high school choice was coming up. And it's really time to make the next choice for our education and our futures. I hope to get the school my choice.
Nice
Thank
job,
you.
Mr. Sasko. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Sarno, Superintendent Warwick, and school committee members. My name is Evan Wynn. I'm here to inform you that Vanscoy Academy has helped me in many ways. How it has helped me in many ways is they set up monthly objectives for everyone. It helps because one of the objectives to get to the incentives we have to finish all of our work, and also we need to be in uniform. When I was in Vanscoy IB, I thought that no one could top the school. But when I was put into the school, I had a new perspective. By this, they ask us, oh no, I'm sorry.
You're doing fine. You look sharp tonight, too.
Thank you. This new perspective has made me believe that I could do anything. By this, they ask us if we need any help with any of our work. If I need more help, they will offer us to stay after. In this month's of incentives, if we get 112 signatures by being in uniform, we could go to our hall. And then we could have cookies, hot chocolate, and a movie. But probably next month, we will have to be in uniform to get to our incentive. I was here last year talking to you all about how the Vanscoy IB was better than any other school that I've ever been to. But I really enjoy this school year. The only reason why I believe that this school year is better is because this school is a lot more organized. And it enforces all of the schools and district policies. Like, for an example, no cell phones and have to be in school colors. Also, they don't allow anything to slide. What I mean about this is that they will go out of their way to have the kids who actually focus on an environment to focus, unlike the kids who do not feel like having an education is more important. I believe that it is crucial to having an education. The reason why is because it shows where you're going to go to high school and where you're going to go to college. And also, it shows where you're going to get a job.
Nice job, Evan. Good job, Evan. Thank you, guys. Okay, Up Academy, Kennedy is in the house. Felix Consiglio and Giovanni Cruz, accompanied by Desmond Caldwell, principal, and Chris Collins, ETL. Come on down.
Honorable Mayor Sarno, Superintendent Warwick, members of the school committee, parents, and community members. Hi, everyone. My name is Giovanni Cruz, and I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts. And I'm a proud Up Academy Kennedy Lion. I just want to start off by saying it's been such a good experience in this academy. Let me start off with my 6th grade year, before Up took over. There were a lot of defects with the school. There were days from the morning to the end of the school day that kids were skipping like nothing, and teachers wouldn't even try to make an effort to stop what they were doing. Some days I even skipped. My work wouldn't be getting done, and sometimes I would end up getting disrespectful because those people always had two sides to them. I thought they didn't care about us or any of the students, so at the time being disrespectful didn't seem all that bad. But then Up took over, and thank God for that. At first I had my doubts, but they showed that I shouldn't. From 6th grade to now, I no longer skip. It's just corny to lose your education over friends. I also respect every single adult that works in that building because they do care, and they're trying to do their best to give us the right education we need and the discipline we need. And even when they get annoying at times, it's for a reason. The best thing about Up is I'm now learning what I need to know to make me successful in high school and in college. We also have a small community where everybody's working together to make the school run like it's supposed to. Everything is organized, not as many incidents as before, and people trust each other more now as a whole. Also, things are much more calm. Here are some opportunities that Up Academy Kennedy provides for the students. Let me talk about advisory. Basically, advisory is when each student meets up with an advisor. We meet with them every day to talk about grades, behavior. We set goals for ourselves, and we talk about how we can improve the school. And that's something really good because we were used to having principals in the office all day and teachers not really caring. Principal Caldwell is always around us, making sure we're good. He's just involved, and that shows us as students he cares. Sometimes he even raps with us, which is cool. We also have enrichment, which is on Friday. It gives us a chance to do things we like, such as rapping, basketball, cosmetology, movies, and there's more. Just things we like to do. Lastly, we got intervention, which is going from 1 period a day to 2 periods a day, which is going to help us catch up and succeed in our classes so we can attend the best high school and colleges. As Mr. Caldwell says at Up Academy Kennedy, we're shaking the whole foundation of education like 350 subwoofers in your basement. Thanks for your support and helping us turn up. Have a great night.
Good job, Giovanni. Good job, Giovanni. That's my middle name in Italian, Giovanni. Very good. Felix, my man, come on up. You can do it, Felix. I feel that way sometimes too. I'm telling you. We're looking forward to this tonight, Felix.
So Felix answered 3 questions.
Okay.
The first one is what he likes about Up Academy Kennedy.
I like garden class.
You're doing fine.
Because we can go outside and pick vegetables and take them home. I like when Miss Kimball reads to us because it's better.
So, sometimes
Sometimes it is hard for us.
it's hard to read by myself,
It is hard to read by myself,
and I like to finish my work.
and I like to finish my work. The school helped me with my plan.
When I earn 60
And
points.
I earn 60 points a day. I get to choose a homework pass or extra computer time. When I earn 70 points, I get to play Uno with my grandma, and my brother can't.
Your brother can't play.
I said that.
I'm sorry.
That was good, Felix. Very good.
I play.
Or I can use Nana's computer.
Or I can use my Nana's computer.
This is what he doesn't like about Up Academy.
Okay.
I don't not like the school lunch, especially the eggs and the
Meat.
the
And I don't like the Friday bus driver.
and I don't like the Friday bus driver.
I heard that.
You did it. That's it.
Great job, Felix. I told you you could do it. I told you you could do it. Good job, Felix. Good job, Felix. I told you you could do it. Good job. Well, you had 3 good things compared to 1, so that's good. My alma mater, Kylie, was junior high. Kylie Middle School is in the house. Angeli Resto Donez and Lydia Olivero is here, Olivero, accompanied by Otilio Alvarado, Assistant Principal. Mr. Alvarado, thank you. Come on down. Alvarado.
Good evening, Mayor Sarno, Superintendent Warwick, and school committee members. My name is Angeli Resto, and this is my classmate Lydia Olivero. We are here to tell you about the amazing things that are happening this year at Kylie Middle School.
Our teachers have been working hard all year to implement school-wide priorities. Priority 1, intentional practices for improving instruction. All students will demonstrate proficiency in the ability to explain their thinking and demonstrate their understanding. All teachers will implement daily writing using the Summarizer book. Discussions tasks will be facilitated through sentence starters posted in every classroom to ensure students have ample opportunities to explain their thinking. Success will be measured by interim assessments and monthly constructed response questions.
Priority number 2, student-specific supports and instruction to all students. We have developed a professional learning system which provides all staff and teams with the tools to implement well-structured lessons that meet the needs of all students through planning and resources. The PLS will be structured to allow teachers to visit model classrooms, develop effective and engaging lesson plans, and develop best practices across all content areas. The use of the IPG will give teachers timely and specific feedback. The administration team and coaches are using the instructional practice guide to conduct twice-monthly learning walks and will drive the focus of our professional learning system.
Priority 3, school culture and climate. All teachers are contributing to a school culture in which adults are professional and act with urgency. Students will continue to be treated with respect, positive relationships have been built, and successes are being celebrated. PBIS and trauma-sensitive training have been provided to all staff. Success is being measured by monitoring monthly SWIS data and ILT/PBIS committee conducting quarterly learning walks with culture and climate rubric.
In my time at Kylie, I feel that I am continuing to grow a great deal both as a student and as a person. My teachers are doing an excellent job teaching me, motivating me, and preparing me for the future. They have always been here for me through good times and when I am struggling. At Kylie, I feel like we are one big family, and I will definitely miss all of my teachers and classmates when I move on to high school. I feel like they are putting me in a position to achieve all of my goals and to reach my full potential in high school and beyond. The high school selection process opens next week, and I hope to attend Putnam High School. I am excited and looking forward to continuing to learn and grow in the future.
At Kylie, we have upgraded the PBIS reward system. The teachers are now able to award points to students using the PBIS rewards website. Each student has their own badge with a barcode that automatically keeps track of their PBIS points. Our points can be redeemed for prizes like T-shirts and school supplies. We had a winter carnival that over 200 students attended on December 21st, and it was a great success. We had food and got time spent with our friends. Everyone had a great time. The PBIS program is helping to not only significantly improve class behavior, but the whole schools as well. This has had a positive impact on student learning.
Our Dean of Students, Mr. Lorenzano, has organized several great field trips for us this school year. He has brought students on college awareness trips to Framingham State and UMass. Caddy students have also had the opportunity to attend career awareness trips to OMG Inc., the Hall of Justice, the Aerospace Manufacturing Convention, the Junior Achievement Stock Market Challenge, and even to Fitness First in Agawam to learn about careers in the fitness and wellness field. Mr. Lorenzano does an amazing job and is always looking for new opportunities for Kylie students to explore.
Our 8th grade class is ready for the high school selection process this year. Several of the high schools came to visit us and talk about the different programs and exciting opportunities that they have to offer. Everyone has been thinking about which school they would like to attend and working hard to make sure they are ready. I am also hoping to attend Central High School next year because I feel that it would be best fit for me.
Thank you very much and have a great night.
Nice job, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. That concludes our middle school representatives, Springfield Empowerment Zone School Speak Out. You're more than welcome to stay. We're going to take a 1-minute recess before we go into our formal meeting. Great job, kids. Thank you. Good evening. We'll call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll? Present. Can we all, and we are student representative also. Cassandra Velez is also here representing Duggan Academy. We appreciate that. We could all please rise for a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. And Happy New Year to all in the audience and our viewing public too. We'll now move to approval of minutes for December 14, 2017 regular school committee meeting and January 2nd, 2018 organizational meeting. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor? Motion by Vice Chair Collins. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Naylor. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. These are now items requiring a vote of the school committee. A is to approve City of Springfield High School diploma for Shalala Smith. If I pronounce that wrong, I apologize. Superintendent Warwick?
Thank you, Mayor. Shalala has met all the requirements. Dr. Johnson has verified it to earn a City of Springfield diploma. She was attending a private day school program, so I'm recommending approval. There's an informational circular in your packet on it.
Thank you, Superintendent Warwick. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Gresham. Is there a second? Second by Vice Chair Collins. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. Congratulations, Ms. Smith. B is to approve the City of Springfield High School Certificate of Attainment for Amy Kudo.
Amy is also was enrolled in a private day school program, and she met the requirements to meet a certificate of attainment. I'm recommending approval.
Thank you, Superintendent Warwick. Any questions or comments? Yes, Ms. Naylor.
Certificate of attainment in Massachusetts is someone who's completed all of our local requirements relative to course completion, but has not met the MCAS requirement relative to passing the test.
So are they still eligible to go to college or anything like that?
They are. They're also eligible to continue to take the test and still go back and get a diploma.
Thank you, Ms. Naylor. Good question. Any other questions or comments pertaining to this? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Hurst. Is there a second? Second. Second by Ms. Perez. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Attorney Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Gresham?
Yes.
Perez?
Yes.
Ms. Hurst? Yes. Ms. Naylor?
Yes.
Mr. Collins?
Yes. Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. Congratulations, Amy. C is to approve Technicians TEA Collective Bargaining Agreement. Superintendent Warwick, please.
Yeah, Mayor, we reached a settlement with the Technicians Association, subject to the approved specifications that the school committee gave us. We appreciate the school committee's generous offer, and I recommend approval of the contract.
Thank you, Superintendent Warwick. Any questions or comments pertaining to this matter? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor? So moved. Motion by Vice Chair Collins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Attorney Peter Murphy. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ms. Hurst? Yes. Ms. Naylor?
Yes.
Mr. Collins?
Yes. Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. Thank you very much. D is to approve the release of funds in the amount of $10,000 for the Henry P. Kendall Foundation. Superintendent Warwick, please.
Thank you, Mayor. We've received a good amount of philanthropic support for our culinary program. We continue to improve the program. We've been very, very creative. We're getting a lot of grant activity supporting the program. This piece is from the Kendall Foundation to help us with local breakfast bars to improve the program temporarily while we get up to speed on that. And it's been through Budget and Finance. Don't know if the Budget and Finance Chair wanted to speak to this.
Vice Chair Collins.
Received unanimous support in Budget and Finance.
So recommend approval.
Thank you, Superintendent Warwick. Any questions or comments?
Yes, Mr.
Here,
Mayor.
Ms. Gresham, yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Would this be in addition to the breakfast in the classroom?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it would be part of it. Yeah.
Part of it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So it would just be a locally made, but higher quality bar.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor? Motion by Vice Chair Collins, is there a second? Second by Ms. Naylor. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient votes, this matter passes. Thank you very much. E is to approve the release of funds in the amount of $12,500 for the Lego Monarch Mission Pollinator Program. Superintendent Warwick,
This is
please.
another grant we've received. It came through Budget and Finance for acceptance. I recommend approval. I don't know if the Chair of Budget and Finance would like
Vice
to
Chair
speak to it.
Collins?
It's a very timely grant because monarchs have had some issues as of late with the cold winters in Mexico. And this is where they create gardens at schools that will actually attract monarch butterflies to help pollinate and to help regenerate the species. So it's a great grant. There's about 15 schools involved where they put little gardens in them.
Yeah, right, about 25, yeah.
25,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Very good. Any questions or comments on this issue? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Naylor. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient votes, this matter passes. Thank you very much. F is to approve the acceptance of a 1998 Oldsmobile Cutlass donated by Tyson Ensay for training purposes in the Automotive Technology Program at the Roger L. Putnam Vocational Academy. Superintendent Warwick.
Thank you, Mayor. This is for our kids to work on the cars, and it's just to accept the donation. It's been through Budget and Finance. I recommend approval.
Thank you, Superintendent Warwick. It's very kind of Mr. Ansay to do that. Is there any questions or comments? Any motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Naylor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Gresham. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient votes, this matter passes. G is to approve the appropriation from carryover and other surplus funds in the amount of $6,892,630 to fund the items as specified in the memo to the school committee dated December 21st, 2017. Superintendent Warwick, please.
Thank you, Mayor. This also went through Budget and Finance last night. This is carryover money that was unspent from last year, and typically we try to put this towards one-time items that wouldn't have recurring costs, and so the recommended items are, and we have Pat Roach available also for any questions. $4 million for the conservatory startup. We're starting up a school at the Conservatory of the Arts, a new school at the, planning to move it to the Masons Lodge, and right now we never had new supplies, new equipment for that school, so we're recommending $4 million to that. We've always done around $1 million for our, not with MSBA, in addition to the MSBA funds over the summer, replacing tiles, improving the schools. We put a lot of money into improving our schools because our average facility is about 55 years old. So we've really worked hard to stay on top of it, and we have aggressive summer projects every year. We have a new VoIP system that we're bringing in for our phones. In the past, all our phones we actually had the E-rate reimbursement. We had a more expensive phone system, but now that we've lost the 90% E-rate, the VoIP system is much more economical and very efficient. We want to open five new full-day pre-K classes. We've gradually tried to increase the number of our pre-K classes. We've actually doubled the number of our pre-K classes in the last 10 years, our public pre-K, and also worked with the private community. We're trying to try out a few more full-day pre-K classes to afford our kids a better opportunity for a longer school day and more learning. So we're trying to work that forward. Now, there's a couple, there's obviously cost to that. There's also the space in the schools. As we've added more pre-Ks, more Lewinson and SPED to every school, our schools are getting tighter and tighter. But we feel we can find the room and make this happen for next year, and we'd like to move forward in this direction. The AED replacement is for the AED machines. Some of our machines have gone past their usage, and we have to replace those, and that was recommended by Jeannie Clancy. And the Barracuda replacement has to do with our IT piece with the software. So the total is $6,892,630. Again, these are one-time funds that were unspent. We try to do it again for non-recurring costs. It's been through Budget and Finance. I don't know if Mr. Collins wanted to speak to it.
Vice Chair Collins or any school committee members, any questions or comments?
There was lengthy discussion about this, and all the explanations were given. I know $6.9 million sounds like a lot of money. You've got a $500 million budget, and to actually get it that close, carryover money is money that we didn't spend out of last year's budget. And to get it that close, which is like 1.4%, that's pretty good budgeting. And I think we owe a debt of gratitude to our finance department for improving this over the years. And it did get a unanimous recommendation from the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Vice Chair Collins. And again, we have a great relationship with the MSBA and on our city side, partnering with improving our schools on the percentages that are needed. So the whole team, we appreciate that. But I don't know if there's any other questions or comments on this. Yes, Ms. Hirsch.
The expansion of the full-day pre-K, have the schools been identified, or is it?
No, we haven't identified schools yet. Okay. And that'll take some work because it's tighter and tighter, finding the space. Okay. Everyone would love to have the full-day pre-K, but it's finding extra classrooms in our schools now has become a challenge. But we will work on it and find the classes. But we have more work to do with that.
And I have to commend the superintendent and the administrator and the school committee. We're really taking a big lead on pre-K opportunities for our families in the state. And we're going to continue to try to do that. Any other questions or comments? Ms. Perez, yes.
Any time frame identify when this preschool is going to be open?
Yeah, next fall. Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Attorney Murphy?
If I may, Mayor, I'm going to support this, and obviously the building that the Conservatory of the Arts, the old Mason, it's a beautiful building on State Street. It'll be a great facility for our kids, and we're certainly making a significant investment in that. But I would just ask in the future, we do have problems, as Ms. Hurst indicated, with space for our preschool kids, and I think that, as we know, the preschool, when you have full-day pre-K for our kids, that's the gift that keeps giving. There is a connection between full-day pre-K and success for our children as they move through the system, and so I think that, in the future, I would hope and ask that we try to expand. If there's a problem with space, as you had indicated, Mr. Warwick and Mr. Collins at the subcommittee meeting, we can use some of this money perhaps in the future to expand space for our kids, for our young kids to have full-day pre-K.
Thank you, Attorney Murphy. Like that. So noted. Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Naylor. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. You were going to say something.
Yes.
Yes, Board of Sufficient vote, this matter passes. Thank you very much. We'll now move to informational and discussion items, and we have a Gear Up presentation.
No,
Superintendent?
we have to vote on
The minutes, the SOIs.
Oh, we have to try. I apologize. They have to be voted on separately. One by one, I apologize on that. So that was the overall vote there, but we have to vote technically. Yeah. Okay, we need to go to A, and this is to approve. All these are submit to the Mass School Building Authority, MSBA, statement of interest form submitted February 16, 2018 for Milton Bradley School at 22 Mulberry Street. This is all documented. Do we need to read the whole formal thing? Which describes, Attorney Phelps, could you clarify if
I think the motion can be to move the approval of the submission to the Mass School Building Authority as described for Milton Bradley.
Okay. So as described, again, this is from Milton Bradley School. It is all before our school committee members documented here. So is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Attorney Peter Murphy. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Gresham. Again, this is on A, Milton Bradley School. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Just one second. Okay. Yes.
Yes, just for clarification, that's roof system for the school.
Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. Thank you very much. Now we'll move to B. This, again, is to the MSBA. As described, this is going to my alma mater, the High School of Commerce, 415 State Street. The priority, again, is renovation, replace a roofing system of the school building, always for the health and safety of school children and to decrease energy-related costs associated with school building. Any questions or comments, or is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Collins. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Perez. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. C, again, this is to the Mass School Building Authority, MSBA. This is for Glenwood School, which I know is near and dear to Superintendent Warwick's heart, 50 Morrison Terrace. This is priority renovation, replacement of roofing system, school building, again, to ensure the health and safety of school children and to decrease the energy-related costs associated with the school building. Is there any questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Collins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hurst. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. Thank you. D, again, is to the MSBA, as described in writing. Form is going to be submitted. This is for Indian Orchard Elementary School, 95 Milton Street. The priority, again, is renovation, replace a roofing system and school building, upgrade the heating system to place the school on an automated web-based energy management system. This, again, is to ensure health and safety of the school children and decrease the energy-related costs associated with the school building. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Attorney Peter Murphy. Is there second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Collins. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. Thank you. Again, this is a submission to the MSBA, the Mass School Building Authority, for February 16, 2018. This is for Sumner Avenue School, which is located at 45 Sumner Avenue. Priority here is renovation, replacement of roofing system for school building, replacement, upgrade of heating system. Again, to place the school onto an automated web-based energy management system to ensure, again, the health and safety of school children and decrease the energy-related costs associated with the school building. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, there's a motion on the floor.
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Collins. Is there a second? Say again, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Attorney Peter Murphy. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. Thank you. F is to approve, again, this is to the MSBA, interest form, statement of interest. This is for Valley at Elementary School, 52 Roswell Street. Priority here is installation of new windows and exterior doors under the accelerated repair program. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, is a motion on the floor.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Gresham. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Naylor. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. G is to approve again to the MSBA. This is for Washington Elementary School, old school I went to, 141 Washington Street. Priority here is installation of new windows, exterior doors under the accelerated repair program. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, there's a motion on the floor.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Perez. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Attorney Murphy. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes, approved. H is to approve, again, the MSBA. This is for Arthur T. Talmadge School, which is located at 1395 Allen Street. Priority here is installation of new windows, exterior doors, and replacement upgrade of heating system to place, again, school onto an automated web-based energy management system to ensure, again, the health and safety of school children and decrease the energy-related costs associated with the school building. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, there's a motion on the floor.
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Collins, there's a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Hurst. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient votes, the matter passes. I is again the MSBA. This is for the Springfield High School of Science and Technology, SciTech, 1250 State Street. And the priority here is replacement and upgrade of heating system to place the school on to an automated web-based energy management to ensure health and safety for our school children, and again, to decrease the energy-related costs associated with the school building. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, there's a motion on the floor.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Hurst, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Naylor. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient votes, matter passes. Thank you.
Mayor, may I be recognized on the next item?
Yes, Attorney Phelps?
Item J is with regards to a submission to the Mass School Building Authority for Harena School for new windows and exterior doors and the heating management system. As indicated in the at the subcommittee level, the motion was made for the funding for the German Harena Community School. As printed, it says the Harena Community School of Science and Technology.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to indicate that the motion should be with regards to the Harena Community School, and that was the subcommittee vote.
Yes.
And I certainly appreciate the tediousness of individual voting, but when these items are submitted to the Mass State Building Authority, they have to be submitted as an individual vote, and don't want to risk the proposal being rejected for failure to follow the procedure. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Phelps, on that. So after that clarification, J again is to approve to the Mass School Building Authority, MSBA. This is for Harena School, Harena Community School, 200 Bernie Avenue. The priority here again is to installation of new windows, exterior doors, replacement and upgrade of heating system, and to place the school on an automated web-based energy management system, again to ensure the health and safety of our school children and decrease the energy-related costs associated with the school building. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Collins, second by Ms. Perez. I heard you, Ms. Perez, very loud and clear on that. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient vote, this matter passes. K is approved making the Harena School the District 1 priority. Superintendent Warwick?
MSBA asked for us to name one school as a particular priority each year. Facilities decided that the number one priority would be Harena. The HVAC system really needs work at Harena. It would be the number one priority. Now, with MSBA, they're going to come in and look at all of these projects, determine need, and based on the dollars available, decide which ones they're going to fund. But the beauty of this is every one they fund, we would get 80% full reimbursement, not just approved costs on it. So it's a great value for the city of Springfield. We've had over $700 million worth of projects support from MSBA. And I really thank the school committee and the mayor for putting all these projects forward, and the mayor and the city council for funding our percent. We've really made tremendous improvements to our schools. So facilities and I are recommending Harena as the number one priority.
And I want to thank Superintendent Warwick and Pat Sullivan, Chris Signoli from my side. We continue to make progress there, not only to the dealing with the tunnel access, but also with Mass DOT. I'm sure Ms. Perez can speak on that, on getting them to repair that membrane so we can go in as a city and continue to alleviate any type of issues in that tunnel. So I know there might be some questions or comments on that. Ms. Hurst?
So if I'm clear, we voted on 10 to submit to the MSBA, but we have to identify one as priority, which we just voted on.
Yeah.
Was Harina.
Okay. MSBA always asks us to identify the number one priority also, but they're going to come in, like I say, and they're going to review each one of these. They're actually going to tour each one of the schools, and at the end of the day, when they're providing the 80%, they have a large say in the decisions. And there's so much money to hand out every year. It's really smart to be aggressive in your submission so that if other communities don't use a share of the money, we've, in past years, gotten many projects funded. We've had over 23 major initiatives through this particular program.
We're nearing, since our tenure, we're nearing nearly $700 million in new schools and renovations being built. We're actually ahead of Boston. We have outstanding relationship with the Treasurer Goldberg, and the MSBA, and they used us many times as an example to other districts in the Commonwealth. Any other questions or comments?
I'd just like to make a comment just to say that Harina is, as many of us know and have heard frequently, has a lot of issues, so I am hopeful that we are going to prioritize on it.
Thank you, Ms. Naylor. Ms. Hurst, yeah.
Yes, Your Honor. Back when we were voting on like number 2 or 3, our student rep had
Cassandra, I'm sorry. Just throw something at me. I'll, go right ahead, dear.
I was just wondering how do schools have the chance to get these renovations and like replacements? Just because when you're mentioning like the replacement of the roofing system to Commerce, I was of course thinking about my school, but I was just wondering like how do these schools get brought up for that? Like, do you guys look at them, or do you have?
That's a great, absolutely great question. So our facilities department looks at all the needs in the district. With the roofs, we can only submit to MSBA for roofs that are needed and are more than 20 years old and are beyond the guarantee. So we submit for all the roofs that are over 20 years old. Duggan actually has a new roof that was actually put in under this program, already has windows and doors and a new heating system based on it. So we look at every school and prioritize the needs, whether it's the heating system, but the roofs have to be 20 years before we submit.
Way to fight for your school, Cassandra. And we were
done very well, by the way, but many of our schools have. You can see evidence all across the system. This has been a great program for us, and we really made a big difference.
We worked, we gerrymandered a little bit, worked a new gym there and a new auditorium, too, on it, so.
But you can see it all across the city. Every school has benefited, but they're all prioritized by facilities. We have experts in the field that can actually go through each school.
I'm sure Principal Calvinese really appreciates you advocating. Go Jayhawks, okay.
Go Jayhawks.
Very good.
Mike's new hero.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
I would make a motion that we set Herman Harina School as the number one priority.
Motion by Mr. Collins. Vice Chair Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hurst. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. We are going to table or put on hold GERA presentation. They will be presenting to us later on in the very near future. But we do have some great recognitions tonight. And tonight we recognize our athletic director, AD Mike Martin, for his induction into the Massachusetts Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame, the New England Basketball Hall of Fame, and the Springfield Public Schools Hall of Fame. Come on down, Coach Martin. Superintendent Ward.
Mike's a very humble guy, so I'll just say a few words. He's just been an outstanding athletic director, but for folks that are old like me, we actually remember his coaching career. unheralded at the High School of Commerce, the number of state championships in a row, and the records were unbelievable. And then 11 years in Agawam as well, but a really unrivaled success. Was it 3 state championships in a row during a period of an undefeated season? So it's a record that's really unparalleled. So it's nice to see him recognized regionally, as well as how much we appreciate him in the city of Springfield for the great job he's done, not only as a coach for our kids for years, but as our AD for the last number of years. So I just on a personal level wanted to thank Mike because he's been unbelievable to work with.
Thank you very much. Some of us are even old enough to remember him playing, so.
I remember that too.
Mr. Kyle, any other comments before I? No. Well-deserved coach, and I do remember those legendary teams at the High School of Commerce, which are not only state, but New England champs, and to be put, as you should be, in these Hall of Fames. I understand, if I'm correct, it's just, I believe, you and Billy Wise that have been elected, Coach Wise, another legendary coach. So long overdue and well-deserved. You not only, I think a lot of coaches emulate this, but you not only taught these young men on the court, you helped mentor them off the court and in the classroom. You helped lead many, and you had some great ball players, all-time greats, lead them into college to not only play Division I or Division II, mainly Division I, but also to gain a degree and be able to provide for themselves and their families. So this is, I know I sent you a little note saying what took them so long, but legendary and well-deserved,
Thank you.
Coach Martin.
Thank you very much. I mean, without players, you can't win. So, I mean, I was very fortunate to have a great group of players throughout the years. So, thank you.
As the superintendent advertised, he is very, very humble. Where are you going? Where are you going, Coach? Hold on one sec. Look, what do you want, a technical foul? You want to get off the court right now?
He did get a few texts, but not many.
Well, yeah, but it was always in good spirit. I remember those.
Sweeney used to call me in his office after a couple of games for getting texts.
You know, we, at the time of High School of Commerce, my first year there was the legendary principal, Phil Sweeney, his last year.
Yeah.
And then I had legendary Jeannie Basili, and just had, it was just a glorious time there.
Yes, it was.
So.
Yep.
But we have, if there's no other questions or comments.
But just,
I knew.
The word coach is one of the biggest terms of respect and endearment, and you really are coach.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that very much.
So, from the Springfield Public Schools, Springfield, Massachusetts, the Springfield School Committee Superintendent of Schools hereby recognizes Michael Martin for his unfaltering hard work, dedication, commitment, and many accomplishments during his years of service on behalf of all the students of the Springfield Public Schools, presented on the 11th day, January 2018, by all school committee members and signed by myself, Mayor Dominic Sarno, and Superintendent Deanne Warwick. Come on down, Coach. Congratulations. Okay. So we move from Coach Mike Martin, Athletic Director Mike Martin, who helped direct lives in the right way, to an individual who helped save a life. We recognize Chris Collins, teacher at the Up Academy, for performing the Heimlich maneuver to save a student's life. Come on down, Superintendent Warwick.
I'd like to maybe bring up Sam or Desmond Caldwell to talk about it.
This is great, so folks can present. I think this is absolutely terrific.
Mayor Sarna, Superintendent Warwick, members of the school committee,
I am really excited and honored to be able to introduce our evaluation team leader, Chris Collins. Well, this is Chris's first year working in Springfield as our evaluation team leader. She has already had a deep, deep impact in our school and really has brought an incredible amount of expertise and experience and really helps serve our students who oftentimes have the hardest time feeling successful in our schools. And while I could talk at length about the impact that Chris has had in our school, I'm here tonight to tell you specifically about what happened on November 1st. On November 1st, Chris was doing what she normally does, performing lunch duty with our sub-separate students in a few different classrooms. And during the course of that lunch duty, one of the students became a little bit agitated, and Chris was trying to help figure out what was wrong, but the student was having trouble verbalizing what he was upset about. And the student had his lunch with him and began eating it really rapidly because he was nervous about what was going on. And while this was happening, it became clear that the student was choking and actually couldn't breathe and wasn't able to make any sound. And in that moment of crisis, Chris took immediate action and not only sent for somebody to immediately go get the nurse, but also recognized that this was really a life-threatening situation and that somebody needed to do something immediately. So she stepped in and performed the Heimlich maneuver and got the student to regurgitate what they were choking on. The student then began breathing again, was really distraught, but Ms. Collins was there to support him until the nurse got over there. And to me, it showed not only her caring that she shows every day in our school, but also that incredible poise in a moment of real crisis. And that is not something that is unique to this moment. We actually had a crisis earlier this week where a student needed to be transported to Bay State because they had fainted, and Ms. Collins was one of the first people there responding, and our nurse came up to me after the incident and said, Mr. Wolfson, Ms. Collins is like the person that needs to be there whenever there's a crisis because she is cool as a cucumber and is directing people where they need to go while also focused on the student and making sure that they have what they need. So it's my pleasure to tell you a little bit about Ms. Collins and for her to receive this honor. Thank you.
I open the floor to school committee members. Ms. Gresham.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Being in the medical field myself, thank you so much. Because at the time when a child or anyone is having an emergency like that, it takes a lot to go and do that. So thank you for saving their lives.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Gresham. School committee members?
Certainly, thank you all. Thank you for being there for all the students. You obviously have deep compassion. And you do the name Collins great honor.
It's Chris Collins, but
Yeah.
it's with a K, so it's spelled.
I noticed that, but that's...
It's spelled correctly.
Let me tell you, those Collins boys know how to work things in there. Any other comments, please, Ms. Hurst?
I mean, I think Barbara said it best. I mean, it's amazing what you've done, and we appreciate that, and I'm sure the family does as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I think what's more important is what Felix did here tonight, which was come here and speak. He's also in the substantially separate program, and that is more important.
That's,
Yeah.
what I was going to say is how you nurtured that young man, because he had some trepidation coming up there, and we tried to psych him up out there, and he did it
He
because
did it. I
of
told
you.
him no matter what happens, it'll be perfect.
And what you did, really literally saving someone's life. And again, you're up there like going, hey, what's the big deal? Why should I be? You save someone's life. You show what our system is all about, not only about educating, but nurturing and being a great role model and an example. And obviously, you've become the go-to person when an emergency occurs. So you might think it's a little thing.
These two.
Yeah, oh, they're loving it. I know, you're eating it up over there. You might think it's a little thing, but we felt it was very, very important, Superintendent Warwick, the administration, school committee, to recognize you and let the public know the caliber of individuals we have in our system. And again, very heartfelt what you did for Felix tonight, too. Because when I came in, he didn't want to do it.
No,
He didn't want to
wasn't
do
going
it.
to do it.
but you did it. So I don't know if there's any other comments.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I would like to say something. Just as a parent, knowing that there's people like you in the schools, and I think that's what we do. We send our kids to school, and we hope that there's people caring like you that are going to look out for them. So thank you so much, and you're an example of all the wonderful educators that we have, but really on tonight is your night, so thank you.
Thank you.
Very well put, Ms. Naylor. Any other questions or comments?
We so appreciate it, and from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. And what you do day in and day out with our SPED kids, I think evaluation team leader is one of the most challenging jobs in our school district, and I see Des and Sam nodding there on what a great job you do there, too, and it's special to watch you with that young man today.
It's the best
so
job
thank
in
you,
the
Chris.
district.
Incredible.
It's the best job in the district.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the floor is yours if you, no, you're not,
I just
wait
wanna
a
say
minute, you're not
thank
going,
you.
you like Coach
I'm
Martin, you
good.
can't wait to get off the.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Well, wait a minute, we're not done yet, we're not done yet. So, we have to another Kristen Collins, Springfield Public Schools, Springfield, Massachusetts, Springfield School Committee and Superintendent of Schools hereby recognizes Chris Collins for her heroic efforts and quick response to save the life of a student on November 1st, 2017, presented on this day, the 11th day, January 2018, by all school committee members and signed by myself, Mayor Dominic Sarno, and Superintendent Dan Warwick. Come on down, and thank you. Are you coaching her, Mike, or what? God bless. Oh, what a handshake. I hate to catch a backhand from you. Thank you, sir.
Kristen, thank you. I have Des every day, so I gotta.
Yeah.
Gail's going to do pats on the back.
Pats on the back, yeah. Wonderful. Thank you again, Ms. Collins. Bless you. We'll now move to reports of standing committees. A is the student relation and parent concerns.
No reports, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Gresham. B is the building and maintenance committee.
Well, we could review all 10 of those projects again, or we could just say that we voted on them.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Collins. Any questions or comments on that? Okay. C will move the legislative and contracts committee. Thank you, Ms. Perez. D is curriculum and programs committee.
No report at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Hurst. E is budget and finance committee.
We have
Vice Chair
voted on
Collins.
those issues already.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Any questions or comments? Okay. F is vocational education committee.
No report at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Naylor. G is technology committee.
No report.
Thank you, Attorney Murphy. H is school safety committee.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Gresham. We'll now move the report of Superintendent. Superintendent Warwick, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple items tonight, but one, and you have a circular in your packet on this, but we received a strategic support to specific underperforming schools grant. So we put in targeted supports, working in collaboration with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education and Lydia's office in school redesign, providing specific interventions and supports in some of our schools that are level 3 and 4 to help staff overcome some of the challenges. So we just were awarded that grant, again, right around $400,000. So great work to the staff on that, and a lot of good things are going to be put into place for our kids in those schools. So far to date, I found it very interesting. I was reading the Globe the other day, and there's about 2,000 students from Puerto Rico in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We have 590 in Springfield, by far the most, over twice as many as anyone else, including Boston. So I want to just congratulate our staff. I was going through some schools today, and I saw some of the kids who had just come in. The staff was engaging them, working with them. Our PACE staff has everyone assigned to schools right away. We test the kids the day they come in, so they have their ESOL and ELL program prescription as they go out to the schools. So our staff has really mobilized and really stepped up to meet the needs of the kids. We're going to be pushing for some funding from the state, because as you know, there's been no funding so far. I think they gave us a $5,000 homeless grant, which doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. So we're going to be pushing on looking for our legislative delegation to help us, because anyone coming in, and all these students have come in after October 1, we don't even get funding in next year's budget for them. We wouldn't get funding till the following year. So our legislative ask is going to be for our delegation, and we're looking for everyone's support with that we get the Chapter 70 reimbursement on these students next year, which would also take into account the extra funding you get for students who have ELL needs that are expensive to program for. And an extremely high percent of the population has had pretty significant ELL needs. Another thing that I was really surprised by was a high percentage of students who have special needs, special ed needs, and those costs are astronomical. So the good thing about the Chapter 70 allocation is it takes all that into account. So as opposed to just asking the legislature for a little pothole funding, we really need to get a significant reimbursement next year so we can properly program for all these kids. So that'll be our ask. But for now, our staff has just done a tremendous job, and I'm very, very proud of everyone. I'm very proud of the community for stepping forward the way they have to help all these families.
Superintendent Warwick, I have to say from not only the school side but the community side, Springfield has shined. We've had to deal with these disastrous situations, whether directly or indirectly, and this was the right and humane thing to do. And from top down, we said, do what we have to do immediately to help these individuals and families and children who are in desperate need. And then we'll track everything and we'll worry about the funding at that point in time. It's tough to tell someone whether it's a tornado or a hurricane, an explosion. Hold on, let me identify some money and then we'll get back to you. They were in need, and I'm proud at how everybody has come together as a community. So many numerous organizations and people, many that are in this room. It's the right thing to do, and we will continue to do that for our citizens here. Once again, though, and I'm glad Superintendent's report echoed that, out of the whole Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Springfield is leading the way with nearly 600 students accompanied by families coming to the city of Springfield. And no matter how long their stay might be, whether it's short or longer or permanent, they are welcomed here, and we're going to make sure that we continue to provide to them. So to the viewing audience, the people in the audience, everybody stepped up for our citizens who were in need. And Assistant Superintendent Lydia Martinez, there's a lot of things that have been done behind the scenes to help out these families. And Springfield's a caring city, and Superintendent, to you and your administration, everybody involved, thank you, and we will continue to pursue through Governor Baker and our legislative delegation. There has to be some type of funding, whether in a Chapter 70 level and other on the pupil counts that we have. So thank you, Superintendent. I just wanted to make sure that was echoed.
Yeah, and I'm going to go to the urban superintendent's meeting tomorrow, and as a group, we're going to advocate with the commissioner to bring this forward to the legislature as our ask as well. But I think we need everyone's support with that, and that is the proper ask, because to do right by everybody, rather than just stretching our already depleted resources, we need to get the proper funding in, and we're looking at a challenge for next year with us. So that would be the proper, in our opinion, legislative ask, and a lot of my colleagues across the state share that. So I'd appreciate everyone's support with that.
Yes, I'm sorry,
Mr. Mayor, may I? Now, are we doing any recruiting for bilingual teachers?
We're always looking for ESL teachers.
Okay.
And the hard part here is that of course, that's a critical shortage. But we have ESL teachers posted, and we're always looking for qualified ESL teachers.
Okay.
And bilingual teachers, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Also, I want to add to that, I hope we are focusing on the social, emotional.
Yeah.
A lot of the families have experienced some significant trauma, and we have a lot of supports that we've built into the schools through City Connects and other programs, and those students are availing themselves of those services. Absolutely, great point.
This is it. We're not setting precedent here, because when we went through the terrible days of the tornado, we're able to push through special legislation and funding on the state level. So this is in turn what we're looking to do again.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
if I could,
yes, sir.
two things. especially because Barbara just mentioned the social and emotional well-being of the child. On Tuesday, myself and Attorney Phelps were at our read aloud at Harena, and I had an opportunity to read to a class, and my son is in that class. And at the end of the book, one of the little girls that was sitting on the carpet began to ask me questions in Spanish about the book, and I was able to answer them. But later on that evening when I got home, and I feel bad because I'm getting ready to tear up, my son said to me, "She's so happy to be here," because she had just come from Puerto Rico. And so I can't even imagine the trauma. Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that, and his teacher was great, and it was a really great experience. So now I'm going to move on and also say that when I hear the superintendent talk about special legislation and needing help and support and advocacy, I was at a MASC retreat this past weekend, and there was a lot of talk about planning for Day on the Hill, which former President Tim Collins might be familiar with, but it's the day that all the school committee members from across the state go to the State House to advocate for different pieces of legislation. And when we think about Springfield, we're the second largest school district in New England, and we do need to have our voices heard, not just on the issue around Chapter 70, but a lot of different legislation that we have no idea is being passed both statewide and nationally. And so I think as soon as I get the date, I'll send it out, but I do think that we need to move with a sense of urgency, and we should be present.
Thank you, Ms. Susan. Thank you for always doing a great job representing us statewide at the Mass School Committee Association. Any other questions or comments on that subject? I know the superintendent might have some more on his report. Superintendent Warwick?
My last item is the contracts report. There's an informational circular in your packet if you have any questions on any of the contracts. These are for contracts under $500,000, which I approve. Pat Roach or I could ask and answer any questions for you.
Any questions or comments pertaining to the contractual report? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to unfinished business. Hearing none, we'll move to new business. Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved by motion by Ms. Hurst. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Naylor. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Good evening, and thank you for watching. Happy New Year.